Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mario here once again. It's me, Mario here. I'm getting sick of this pun, by the way. Anyways though, and I'm from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Kirby Mouse Attack, aka Kirby Squeak Squad for North America version of the game on the Nintendo DS. So, last time we actually did Master Tackle Buddy forms of World 4 Jam Jungle, and now we're going to be continuing on and moving on to World 5, which is kind of a really bizarre name to this world. This one is known as Volcano. Kind of odd name I have to say for this much. But anyways though, just like before, I managed to change my different colored Kirby, but this time around though, I managed to change my Kirby into orange because why not? Because of the actual lava environment world. So even though it's kind of like the exact same thing for how it does it in let's just say Mustard Mountain from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, except the fact the matter is though, is the fact that it doesn't say mustard or anything else for that relatable. So, anyways though, so right off the bat though, we're actually going to be exploring for this little, traditional, happy, jolly, section here, well, with this little lovely, jolly piece of music going on here. There is actually a cannon that you can able to light up to able to actually take you to the alternative, room they can able to get into, but all it gets is just basically just bubbles, and that's about it, rather than treasure chests. So, speaking of treasure chests, as far as the treasure chests in this world is concerned, there are, well, mostly every single levels in this particular world will actually hold up to 3 treasure chests, like, even including all of the levels, the only exception being is the boss battle, which we'll get to now in a moment, and right off the bat though, that burning fireball enemy just really kicks my butt, which even then, that's alright though, because I've managed to able to having, even though if you couldn't tell already, I'm having, struggling with the forms of Kirby's stomach mechanic, but even then though, aside from that though, I can get used to it, so even then though, yeah, let's go ahead and use Q-Bits. I think this might actually be the only time we're going to be using the Q-Bit ability when there's some usage for it, because, there's going to be another treasure chest around here. So even then though, I'm hoping that in this video anyway, compared to the likes of World 3 and World 4, I'm hoping I won't missing any in my first attempt on that specific treasure run-through. So, and if that's the point, then, you know, you get the idea with that solution there. So, anyways though, yeah, because you keep on seeing me able to actually keep on stopping going for the most part though, because I have to keep on using the actual mechanic of the game where you have to deal with Kirby's stomach. So anyway, there are 2 different methods you can able to deal with for this particular secondary treasure chest that we can able to obtain from. For one, you can either just manage to shoot the arrow from towards the switch and enter here, like some of these YouTubers have already done that, or my personal favorite is the fact that if you charge up well enough with that Q-Bit copy ability, then we can able to actually perform ourselves a long stretch of that arrow shot, which I honestly got to admit though right away, I really loved every single part of that whenever I was trying to perform that instantly. So, anyways though, so even then though, that it still works fine enough though. But anyways, let's try to invade Dock. So, hopefully we're able to actually escape there in time, which we've already technically did. So, yeah, there's not much I can really tell about Volcano. I'm presuming that, I might still actually consider that it might be still really easy at some point or another, but that's just how I think. So, another copy ability scroll, and another selection of music, and, or in this case, some sound effects, if you will. And finally, we got ourselves another Star Seal. See, Fernando, I'm presuming we've only got 1 more left before we're able to actually discuss upon what these Star Seals can do. But even then, though, that, well, we'll explain more on that later once we get into World 6. So, here we are into the actual, lava environment place. See, Fernando, as far as this level applies, the vocal volcano, I need to get used to that name. How the fact of the matter is, there's going to be tons of fire. So, what I found was a little bit strange is the fact that where we're going to be going after the first treasure chest in this level, well, as you can see, there's one over there, as you can see there. Now, normally you might be thinking about able to actually use the water ability to able to do just as that, but apparently though, you have to use the flamethrower in order to actually just activate the switch, and then that way you should able to grab it. So, it's a bit strange, but hey, at least it's something. So anyways. Oh god, this is the painful room. Now, I say this is probably the most painful section in the entirety of the game, in my opinion, just because there are tons of Elton birds. which even then though, that, not to mention there are so many Elton birds all over the place, not to mention with the informs about the fact that if you manage to leave off screen, then the enemy still respawns, which even then though, that's the only thing you might able to get, tricked by it, especially noticeable how the fact that if you're so used to with the forms of, like, if you ever played, any other Mega Man games, for example, that mostly enemies do respawn, not to mention with this little consequences, but still, I can't really deny by that, so... Anyways though, the reason why we're going in here is because, well, second treasure chest, so... And the third and final one, we have to either use beam ability or the fire ability for flamethrower syndrome. So even though, for me, I was gonna go for the flamethrower just because you know the fire scroll that we've got from earlier ago, then we can able to actually aim it downwards. You know, just like the ones in the Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, that's for sure. So yeah, for the most part, everything else checks out there, so even then though, yeah. So today was actually forms of the 22nd of July, if I consider for this much. So we've only got 2 more days left until Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Live downloadable version of the game was about to be coming out for it. So yeah, another copy ability scroll, and also another jigsaw puzzle piece, and another Kirby spray paint. So even then though, that's, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Speaking of self-explanatory, here's level 5-3, where basically, if you remember from the forms of, let's just say Kirby Dream Land 2 and Kirby Dream Land 3, if you ever played those 2 games with the enemy and boss endurance, how the fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that, it's pretty much the same deal from here. But even though, except the fact that we have to, you know, utilize the actual copy abilities usage with, well, just try to obtain the treasures themselves. Like the first one, you always have to keep your hammer with you at all times. And the second one, we need to obtain the animal, copy ability because we have to do a lot of digging. So, yeah, self-explanatory right there. So that seems the case there. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just dig through here, and there we go. And the third and final treasure is not that far from here. But the fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that we need to deal out with this metal rock. So, and if we manage to deal with him, then we can able to obtain the metal copy ability. And because of that, though, we need to use the metal copy ability for the third and final treasure chest. So, or in this case, a silver treasure chest, if any of you consuming that much, because I've heard from several of item Wikipedias who actually keep on calling the blue treasure chest into like silver chests, which I could assuming it might be a sense of confusion to me. But anyways though, so here's the way we can get the bigger treasure chests by simply able to obtain a metal suit. So, or in this case, what do I keep on saying metal suit? I mean metal copy ability. That's what I meant to say. And before we leave, we have to deal with this particular stereo mouse before we're able to leave the level. So yeah, everything else checks out there for the most part though, because even then though, it's kind of like the ones if you ever played Kirby Dream Land 2 and especially Kirby Dream Land 3, but it informs that we have to usually use most of these copy abilities before you're able to actually collect those specific items. Well, to be more specifically, the Rainbow Drop in Kirby Dream Land 2, and especially noticeable with the forms of what's the thing I was gonna point things out? Oh yeah, the hard stars, while you're trying to able to collect the feathers at the very end of Iceberg World in Kirby Dream Land 3. The fact that you need to collect all of those angel wings and all that stuff. So yeah, that's all I can tell by that point. Another jigsaw puzzle piece, and another copy ability scroll, and also a vitality heart. So yeah. And kind of thing about it though is that one thing I should realize is that we're actually on the halfway point of collecting treasures for this for once, because even then, I'm quite surprised how the fact that we're actually breezing for this game quite significantly well enough, even compared to how it does in the forms of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, because in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, as far as I've mentioned this before several times, it's essentially an open world type of game like that. So yeah. And if you probably couldn't tell already, oh my god, no, oh, you idiot Gordos. Jeez. Anyways, at least we got some health back, thanks to the actual cherry item, so at least as far as the cherry bubble, as far as I would like to call it that, so anyways though, And, if you probably couldn't tell, my mood has actually gone a little bit better this time around, though, because even then, not only because of how the fact that, my Wii U thing was now completely forgotten, but in forms of not to worry about this kinds of stuff, although I'm still am for certain games, like, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, and also Super Mario 3D World and all that stuff, and, you get the idea what that specific part's noticing, but even then, I can get used to it, even then that I need to able to, like, get back into where I came from normally, between these games. One thing I should probably mention about this, well, I forgot to mention about this, actually, is the fact that, Splatoon 1, save data of ours from the Nintendo Wii U system also erased, so this means how the fact that there's gonna be some delay of, Splatoon 1 Let's Play at the moment from the Powerpuff Girls at the moment, because, at the moment, these three members of the Powerpuff Girls, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, are having struggling with the forms of trying to restore the data from Splatoon 1. So, okay, for this first treasure chest here, ignore the switch, because if you accidentally activate the switch while the golden Waddle Dee was still in existence, well, you're probably not gonna get it though. So even then, I highly suggest you're able to ignore the switch, unless if you're able to do just as that. If you actually captured the golden Waddle Dee, it's probably for the best. So anyways. So yeah, for the most part though, the Volcano world is actually not that big of a challenge to me though. Not even until when we get to the actual boss of this particular world, which we're about to get into in just a moment. But anyways though, we got ourselves a sleeping ability, which as you expected, I'm probably ignoring that, because obviously that's pretty useless though. But anyways though, you can either use either Cupid or the bomb for the next treasure, because I highly suggest you do bomb, because even though it just makes it so easier to able to accomplish that. So I suggest you toss the bomb from above from it and activate the switch, and boom, there you go. So there we go, so it's the second treasure chest. So not bad, not too shabby either. So okay, so let's just go ahead and just leave, and before we get any sort of noticing that, we need to go after Duck, but in forms of the actual silver treasure chest that we need to grab onto, well, at least obtaining one of them. So you can either go for those two ways, but honestly I always go that way just because it makes it a little bit quicker to get there. But if you do not make it in a nick of time, then you're probably not going to go afterwards. So even know that, unless if you either restart the level or just simply disable to actually just lose a life or something. So here we go against with Doc right there, see if Fernando, and also you need to clear out every single mice looking enemies there, just in case if you're about to be obtaining the treasure chest itself. So there we go then. So yeah, current thing about it though is the fact that this is the only world, as far as I've mentioned this before, that every single levels, excluding the exception being a boss fight, well, they only have like 3 treasure chests in every single part of the levels themselves, in the forms of, Volcano. So we got another piece of the secret map, another Kirby spray, and of course a glorious key to able to actually unlock the secret levels. So speaking of such, with these secret keys, really? There are only 4 main levels, excluding the secret level and a boss fight? Okay, probably the shortest world in this game, so I wasn't quite surprised. But anyways, let's get to the secret level. From the secret level, we can able to approach into those 5 different doors. I might as well get started with the center of the door, because the ice that I've managed to able to keep that power up for this entire time. Well, I can simply disable to actually just go ahead and just act out as like a fire blocks and stuff like that for that nature. So, but of course you have to be very careful though, because that happens. Although luckily though, since you're able to actually get yourselves treasure so easily now, the fact that as long as you get yourselves your storage mended, or your storage usage for that anyway, you can now simply able to actually, you just go ahead and just fly towards the treasure chest on the lava, and then you can still able to obtain it, unless if your stomach is not full enough. So yeah, it's a very simple premise here. So speaking of which, there's another treasure chest there. So while simply just able to attack the barrel, and that's all there is to go for. So, and of course the third and final one is going to be always at the very end of the level. I'm probably not going to use the Cupid from now on though, just because I mainly use that for sake of like, the treasure chest strategy-wise, in the forms of level 5-1. So, if you didn't grab the ice from the get-go, though, there was actually a way you can able to get the ice ability by simply entering that door over there, as I showed to you guys earlier ago. So yeah, it's one pointings out, so that was really close there. And, of course, there's a third and final treasure chest right there, but we need to able to actually get in here before, Spinny can able to actually do the finished job here, so hopefully we'll can able to actually beat him down no problem, especially with this really overpowered hammer once again. So even though that, especially noticeable with the, up B special attack, before you're able to do a much more devastating and powerful hammer swing, which even though I give the Kirby series some praise about the fact that the hammer itself is really ridiculously overpowered. But anyways though, now let's go ahead and finish the main level, but of course we need to dodge those flamethrowers, excluding these enemies as well, and that's about it. Overall, it's not that difficult or anything like that with this specific world like this. In fact, this world might be a little bit easier than the likes of any other worlds, for this matter, in the forms of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, in my opinion. I mean, sure, there are some difficult moments coming up for it, but anyways, another copy ability scroll there, in addition to the copy pellet from the bottom screen. And finally, we got ourselves another piece of the medal, or in this case, for this matter, a ghost medal. So, yeah, that's all that goes. So now let's move on to the next boss fight in the game. So, I wonder what we're going to face off against this time around, though. But even then, we'll find things out as soon as we're able to actually notice something like this for this matter, though. So, yeah, you get the idea. Alright, so I probably should keep my ice ability for now on, though. And, yeah, we're about to get started here. Alright, so here we go, folks. This is the forms of the next boss fight in this game. It appears to be a flammable ow. Oh, jeez. But, as you can tell right there, since I've managed to keep my invincibility lollipop bubble for this entire time, I can be invisible in this boss fight, even though it's a little bit cheap there, but I don't think that you can able to do as many damage with the invincibility lollipop though, but that's just how I think. So, okay, so this boss is known as Boo-Ho-Bo, which again, I do apologize for that specific boss name, mind you. He might be very tricky at first though, because of how the fact that you don't want to get caught by the forms of his claws, because if you get caught by his claws, then, well, you're able to chuck you by the forms of the actual lava, or just simply just able to actually chuck you from anywhere else for this matter. And, of course, I keep on losing my copy abilities, because again, if you manage to let the copy abilities land onto the lava and stuff, then you'll be able to disappear it completely. So, oh, you kidding me? I'm low on health. Okay, come on, you'll be down by now. Okay, need to obtain the ice though, so just in case if I don't get hit. Okay, there we go. Whew. Sure, that's kind of tricky, but at least we've actually accomplished it. So, yeah, that was it. That was our Volcano, easily one of the shortest worlds in the entirety of the game. Which is kind of odd, but at least when we get to the future worlds, most notably World 6 and 7 and onwards, then things can get a little bit more longer as it is, even then we'll keep it as a normal length. So, with that being said, folks, we got to end things off here, so join me next time for Let's Play Kirby Mouse Attack / Kirby Squeak Squad, for those of you who lived in North America, is the fact that we're going to be moved on to World 6, but in forms of, I'm assuming it's called Ice Island. Simple name for the world, but hey, at least I concur with it. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.